This one unique factory is making industrial businesses on the other side of the map more efficient. But how does that even make sense? Well, this one upgrade alone adds 5% industrial efficiency citywide. But City Skylines 2 has 24 signature industrial buildings that can give us 67% more industrial efficiency and 19% more export profits. Those bonuses should theoretically be overpowered and worth millions. But the game never tells us how many. So today I'm going to unlock all 24, stack every bonus they give us, and find out how much money the completed industrial system can make. Wait a minute, how efficient is this? 244% efficiency? Is that even possible? Before we build anything, this city is currently making $400,000 per hour. Industrial currently pays $5.2 million per month in taxes. Those are the starting numbers. Right now, there's 4 signature buildings unlocked. The other 20 are locked behind production milestones. For example, take the vehicle factory. Unlocking this one building requires 10 oil drilling hubs. Across the full set of unique factories, the requirements reach into every raw resource industry. Those raw resource industries are going to be spread across the map, but everything they produce will feed into one massive factory area beside the cargo transfer station and the railway depot. Now we're going to start with Forestry, and that's going to unlock our first 2 buildings, the paper factory and the particle board factory. But producing enough wood eventually unlocks something beyond the factories. But we'll come back to that once Forestry is up and running. The first milestone requires 10 Forestry hubs, along with 2,500 wood goods produced. We currently have a deficit of 325 tons of wood, and in order to get all of this solved, we're going to need a whole bunch of land. And we're also going to bundle a lot of our other raw resources into this expansion. So we're going to buy all 50 tiles. That's going to cost us $2.3 million every month in upkeep and $25 million up front. And that's a pretty big hit to how much we're making per hour. So let's get started on the first thing that we're going to need to build out the forestry industry. First, I want to take this rural highway and we're going to make 2 key connections. The first one is going to run from the outside connection and it's going to follow along the middle of this path. And there's going to be a crazy amount of industrial traffic on these roads. So we're going to need one more that connects from our main highway, and we want to make sure that we're connecting into this intersection because this road provides direct access into the freight, the industry, everything over here. And I'm going to meander this road through the center of these farms. And basically the goal was to minimize the amount of farmland that would need to be taken in order to get this road in, because this road would be much newer than all of the existing farms. I want to upgrade the existing 2-lane road into a 4-lane. And that's only because these are 2 of the most important roads in this entire area. Now I want to check our natural resources. So we have 2 ore deposits over here, which means I'm going to lock these off. And this area is going to become a mining town. And for the forestry industry, I'm looking for an open lot with farmland that we could expand into, and that also has no resources, which means this is going to be the absolute best spot for the forestry industry. Now with all of this in place, we can finally add the first forestry hub. And this is where the first forestry hub is going to sit. We'll have a second one on the opposite side. And I want to give each of these companies a place to park for their employees. Because the trip here is going to require a car. Not much we can do about that. What we can do though, is give all of these buildings utilities. All we have to do is get this connected in. We only have 2 out of 10 forestry hub buildings. So I'm going to quickly place a few more. The only problem being is that the area that they can take up is pretty big. So if we need to, we'll also take some of this farmland. And we only need one more, so let's place that right here. And that unlocks the first signature building, the paper factory. And once we place this building in, we're going to get a 5% bonus. But to help solve our deficit, we still need to stretch all of the surfaces out and then add in some trees. And we can start working our way to unlocking the particle board factory, which needs 2,500 wood goods produced. And with that, Forestry is completely done. We already unlocked the particle board, and we also unlocked the antique store. So the particle board factory by itself doesn't give any bonuses. It's the upgrade inside of it that does. So at the moment we're producing 7 tons of wood, which is just awful. We have a production capacity for 69 tons, and this is going to improve over time. The big thing being that all of these hubs are currently level 1, and we can see that we're taxing the wood industry by $5,622. I'm going to drop that down to 1%, and hopefully they'll be able to level up faster. Now before we can move on, we're going to have to give this area a district, and that's because very soon we're going to have to start assigning some services, otherwise the efficiency of these businesses is going to go way down. For the time being, I'm just going to call this Wood Town. Now let's keep moving our way down the raw material chain. We already have a surplus in grain, we already have a surplus in livestock, we'll save fish for later on, which means we need a whole bunch of vegetables. So for vegetables, what I'm going to do is turn the entirety of this area into vegetable farms. Let's put a district around this first, and for the time being, we're going to call this Vegetable Town. Very original, I know. Now we're going to need a few main roads in this area, and because all of this space is going to be reserved for the farms, I want to reserve the space in the middle for a small town. Because if we keep adding businesses without adding any residents, their efficiency is going to go way down due to not enough employees. And now with the majority of our main roads in, we can start to see what the town is going to shape into. We also unlocked the interior design studio, and this again has some crazy boosts associated with it. So we'll want to find a way to work the antique store and the interior design studio together. Before we work on that though, I'm going to go through and place a crazy amount of vegetable farms. So this entire district will literally just be vegetables. And that's going to allow us to unlock the energy drink bottling plant. This is already an insane amount of farms, and it hasn't had enough time to fully calculate, but we already have an 893 ton surplus of vegetables. Wait a minute, what's happening down here? Water facility, oh no. What's going, oh, that's not good. Okay, yeah, we don't have enough water. And I think that's just because this groundwater pumping station has a whole bunch of garbage piled up. Yeah, we're losing 50% efficiency. So I'm going to place in another water tower, and let's get that added in right over here by our transformer station. And of course, we gotta add on the sunglasses. Just look how cool we are. I think that solved most of the water issues. I'm a bit surprised to see that we have so much garbage piling up. And because I don't want the city to die, I'm going to place one of these waste collection centers right over here by our farms. And this building is only gonna operate in these districts. Now with that distraction out of the way, our farm should be back up and running, so should our forestry. While I was filling out the farms, we did unlock the energy drink bottling plant, the bottle cap office, and the sports bar. And now that it's had a little bit more time to simulate, we have a surplus of 1.31 kilotons. Honestly, just insane. I don't think I've ever built this many vegetable farms, ever. And the next resource that we need to work on is cotton. The main industrial building that we're going to unlock is the athletic wear factory. We only need to produce 2,500 cotton goods, which means from here on out, this is going to be Cotton Town. Now all we have to do is run a few main roads, place in our cotton farms, stretch out their surfaces, and by the time I'm done doing that, we probably will have already unlocked the athletic wear factory. And Cotton Town is finally done. And we've also unlocked the factory and the sporting goods store. Now we are having a problem with the water, and the city just really has a fragile water network. So let's try and future-proof this, because we can't be building industrial and having everything die because we don't have enough water. Here is one groundwater pumping station, and we can't really place it anywhere else because most of the groundwater is polluted. And that's going to be a local solution just for our farms, but it's definitely not going to be enough for the entire city. Now somehow, the water down here isn't polluted, but let's take this to the extreme. We're going to unlock the advanced water pumping station. So we're going to place the advanced water pumping station right here. And that gives us milestone 16. We are now a thriving metropolis. All we have to do is get this connected into one of our roads. And now when we click play, please tell me the water goes away forever. We now output roughly 4 times as much water as we need. So with cotton done, we're going to skip oil and move on to metal ore. I'm going to pull most of it from over here. So we're going to need some roads to run to this area. And thankfully the wind is blowing that way. That's really important because mining requires a bunch of employees. It's not like the farms. I don't even know how we're getting away with this, to be honest. We should definitely need nearby employees. So the air pollution blowing that way means we want to make sure that all of our residential sits on top of this hill. So this is going to be really good for a small town, but the mining is going to produce a lot of traffic. So I want to extend this 4-lane road right alongside this farm. So we're going to buy all of these tiles, and it's going to cost $2 million up front and $152,000 per month. We've got tons of money, not even a big deal. Now we can delete the farm and continue setting the 4-lane down. Oh, hold that thought. We have unlocked the brand and lifestyle center, and I believe this comes from either cotton or beverages. Now finally, let's just send this road down this hill. And now the rest of the roads are going to be pretty straightforward. And there are all of our mining town roads done. And there's 2 different types of ore. There's coal and there's ore mining. The blast furnace, the casting fabricator, and the foundry upgrade all come from the metal ore chain. But for the most part, I want to make sure that we get our coal done. That way we unlock all of the buildings. And because we have more concentration of metal ore, this is where I want to get our coal mining. And we'll make one key connection into our main 4-lane. Now let's grab the ore mining, and I want the main building to sit right here. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of earthwork to make this look awful, because that's how it should look. Once we're done this, we should unlock the ground earth, the steelworks, and the fabrication unit. And with that, we have our ore mining, we have our coal mining, which I tried to make a bit dirtier. That way the texture was just slightly different. A part of me thinks, yeah, that looks a little bit better. The other part of me thinks I just made it worse. If you don't know, I hate these mining buildings. They look so ugly, so bad. Adding these buildings in have allowed us to unlock the steelworks, the fabrication unit. We're super close to the energy lobbying office. We just need another 30,000 coal goods. Plus, we still need 3 more mining hub buildings to unlock the ground earth. Stone mining can be done pretty much anywhere, but I'd honestly rather bundle these together just so that I don't have to see them ever. So let's continue this 2-lane road down. We'll make sure to level this out, and that shouldn't be a big deal considering how much groundwork we're doing over here. We should have tons of soil. We'll place in 1 stone mining building there, another here, and finally, we have unlocked ground earth. We'll add in a few places to park, and last but not least, all we have to do is stretch out the surfaces. And with that, we have our stone mining done, our coal mining done, and our ore mining. We've also unlocked the concrete batch plant and the gravity separation unit, along with the energy lobbying office. There's only 2 industrial buildings that we haven't unlocked yet, and those are both crude oil. I want to give oil a bunch more love, so I won't touch those today. There's only 1 more building that we need to unlock, and that is the strip mine office. Now, if we deactivate the supply chains pack, we still need the vehicle factory, the chemical plant, the switch on. For the switch on, all we need is a college. So let's quickly unlock colleges. And I don't want to go crazy here. This would be the city's first college, which is why I'm just going to use the Eastern European College. And you could think of this building almost as a community college. I'm going to place that right there. And that unlocks the switch on, which is exactly what we wanted. Let's get this building connected in to our 2-lane road and our 4-lane road. Let's provide a little bit of surface parking and make sure that everyone can walk to the community college. We'll add some grass and a few trees. We're going to make a way better college and university very soon. All that matters is we have unlocked the switch on, which is going to give us another industrial efficiency boost citywide. And we've just unlocked the strip mine office, which means we have unlocked all of the office. And it looks like we're starting to have some garbage pile up in our groundwater pumping station. None of these areas have any waste management assigned, but now they do. Problem solved. While we're here, we might as well throw on the garbage truck depot and the waste recycling unit. Now I've been thinking about something. Initially, I wanted to place these buildings on the water, and that's because we're going to have 2 sections to the cargo harbor. There's going to be this massive side, and then one more side over here, and that's just primarily because this area has amazing access to rail, but I haven't been factoring in where these buildings would realistically be placed, which I think is going to be really important overall. So while some buildings will still go in this district, we're going to change the strategy up a bit. Like last time, let's start with Forestry. We have the particle board factory, and I want to place that right across from Woodtown, because I think it just makes the most sense to have it beside all of our wood processing. Now this building by itself doesn't provide any boosts, but we have the upgrade that does. Before we add that in, let's benchmark everything one more time. We're currently making $300,000 per hour. Industrial is making $6.2 million per hour, so we're up $1 million, which is pretty solid. And our industrial is currently getting a 13% bonus. So let's add on the wood veneer production, which is going to give us a 5% efficiency boost. And we're going to get this connected in to our highway road. But we can't forget the office or the commercial. We have the antique store, and I really want to see this somewhere near our downtown. So let's say goodbye to some of this basic commercial, and please don't come back, you're going to make me feel bad. And instead we're going to add in this beautiful building here. Right beside it, we'll add in the antique store. This gives us 3 boosts, and this gives us another 3 as well. Now I don't want any of this commercial to fill in, because I want to swap it for Australian historic low-density business. And that's just such a better fit compared to what was there before. We are going to have to bulldoze these 3 houses, and as my way of apologizing, there is a park. Now just from adding those buildings alone, we now have a 24% industrial efficiency boost. So one of the big things that we really want to see is the profit of every industrial building going way up. Right now this building is $434K, and we're not even done yet. Next up is going to be all of our agriculture. I think the best placement has to be somewhere in between all of our raw production and our main highway, or at least the highway that's going to be upgraded into a proper interstate and therefore carries the majority of our freight traffic. Because at least this way, it's going to be much easier to ship all of the goods. And that really only leaves us with one spot, any of these 3 lots. So first, we're going to start with the dairy house, and I want to connect this highway road into our highway, which means we're going to need this tile. It only costs $768K. It's chump money at this point in time. Now we can connect this in. And a big goal here is to give this industrial traffic more than one option to get where they need to go. And where they need to go is directly into the industrial district. Well, at least if they want to ship their goods or provide their goods to any of these businesses. And thankfully, we have this road right here, stubbed off and ready to be connected, which means we need one more tile. There. Now I'm going to quickly get this road connected in. And that's exactly what we want to see. Semi-trucks using this road. With this new road in place, we're going to branch one connection off, and we'll add in the dairy house right here. Next up, we have the cereal mill, and I want to have that building within this lot. And this does come with the upgrade, boxing, shipping, and sugar. Of course, we're going to add it on, but I also really like how the normal one looks. Because we have so much grain, let's add in 2. And the second one won't give us any bonuses. Then we have the energy drink bottling plant. I'm going to add it right beside the dairy house. This building also has an upgrade for another 5%, and similar to the cereal mill, I do like the way the base building looks, so we're going to add in 2 of them. We have one more building that's going to sit within our agriculture processing belt, or at least that's what I'm going to call it. That is the livestock processing facility. But we don't have any livestock here, and that means we're going to have to get some. So I'm going to place the livestock processing facility right here. Like every other building, this one has an upgrade. It's for the meat packing logistics center, and it gives us another 5% boost. Now, after just adding in these 4 buildings, we have gained a 17% industrial efficiency boost, which means the industrial efficiency is now being boosted by 47%. It just feels kind of nonsensical, to be honest. Now, before we move on to the next one, I want to do 3 things. I want to surround these 2 facilities with a bunch of livestock farms. I want to give each of these facilities a bunch of relevant storage near them. And finally, they live in the middle of nowhere. They're going to need some parking. Unfortunately, we don't have the demand for more storage, so this was the only storage that I was able to get in. But it has a great variety of grain, livestock, vegetables, and cotton. I am noticing that we are making a good amount of money. How much tax are we? Holy, 8 million? That is a massive jump. All right, well, let's move on to the next section. We're going to start with the concrete batch plant. You would think that we'd want it closer to our stone mining, but we actually don't. Concrete can set pretty quickly, so we want it somewhere outside the city, but still able to serve all of our current and future development. And it looks like one of the best places is just going to be off the highway, which means we're going to have to spend even more money on these tiles. Now we can branch a 2-lane road off of our main highway. Now with this in place, we are ready to add in the concrete batch plant. And like our other buildings, this one comes with an upgrade, and it gives us another 5% boost. And the last 2 buildings that we have available to us, they're going to be placed way closer to our mining operations. We have the gravity separation unit, and this is going to boost all of our export profits, and we'll place that right off the highway. Next up, we have the ground earth building, and we might as well just place this right beside that one. What this means is the building we just placed is already at 183% efficiency, and they're getting a 57% industrial efficiency boost. It's insane. They don't even have enough employees, yet they're as happy as they can be. Now let's move on to some of the dirtier industrial, and ones that I'd definitely love to see closer to our port, if not directly on the water. So we have the steelworks, the fabrication unit, and then these 2 will have upgrades that we're going to have to add on. A part of me just really wants to place them over here, even though we don't have the port. Obviously, we can't do that today, so I might live to regret this decision. But let's have the steelworks right here. This has the milling and rolling unit upgrade. Let's add it on. Right beside it, we're going to add on the fabrication unit. And now these are going to need some roads. Now, I'm only just realizing that I didn't buy the tiles. That's $1.6 million, which is chump money to us, because we're making $442,000 after spending so much money. Now we need a connection into this area, which means we'd have to buy another tile. And that is going to be the steelworks and the fabrication unit done. Now, somehow this building has a 0% efficiency, and that's because they lack resources. That's honestly a bit surprising given that we do have coal, and the last time I checked, we had a surplus in metals. And we still do have a tiny surplus in metals. Honestly, that's great because now I can actually place in some warehouses and hopefully we get what we need. And apparently, all we have demand for is 1 metal ore storage and 1 metal storage. But this building takes metal and coal, which we don't have. Their efficiency is still 0, but there is 5 vehicles going out. And one of them is buying something from the cargo transfer station. And would you look at that? They picked up 25 tons of metal. It's really nice to see that this actually works. So it seems like I just need to be patient and wait until they get all the raw materials that they need. After adding these 2 buildings in, our industrial efficiency is 65%. So every single one of these buildings is getting a 65% boost. This building went from making $400K per month to making $603,000, which is a pretty big jump, especially given that they have more competition now. And at the moment, we're making $9.5 million in industrial taxes. all we have is the paper factory, which I should have placed over here. I don't know why I didn't. The big problem with this building is that it does require a whole bunch of workers, and at the moment, this area doesn't have them. We'll get that solved though. And funny enough, placing that in unlocks the chemical plant. And I don't know when this happened, but at some point in time we unlocked the fuel plant as well. Next up we have the switch on and the athletic wear factory. These really wouldn't be industrial that pollutes like crazy. Like the steelworks would be a crazy polluter, but the athletic wear factory would be pretty tame in comparison to that, which is why I want to get them right near our water. We are going to need a little bit more space though. Now let's add in the athletic wear factory, and we don't have enough room for the switch on, but it's not the end of the world, because I have one more place we can put this. Right now we have all of this industrial, and it's a bit crazy. We have a bunch of buildings burning down, apparently we have buses stuck in traffic. It's just very messy, and it's just the same buildings repeating over and over again. So let's bulldoze a large section of this industrial. And are we having traffic? After the last video? That's a disgrace. Let's add in this building right there, and we'll also move the fire station. Its new place will be right there. Now we have the chemical plant and the fuel plant, and we're gonna have to pass on both of these, because I know for sure that these need to be in our port, and I won't accept anywhere else. And to be honest, we're barely losing anything. These two buildings combined, it's only 3% industrial efficiency. Before I forget, the athletic wear factory does have an upgrade, and we want that boost. Wait a minute, how efficient is this? 244% efficiency? Is that even possible? Saying that number out loud really just feels silly. 256% efficiency, and it's still climbing. They make $2.4 million in profit every month, and they just started out. And we've almost doubled the industrial tax revenue. And the blast furnace, which was the very first building that we've seen, it currently has a profit of $725K every month, and its efficiency is 213%. Every single industrial business gets a total boost of 85%. We've also boosted the export profits by 16%, along with a bunch of other smaller boosts, but none of those matter. But altogether, we are leaving a lot of efficiency on the table by not having enough employees. This building only has 82 out of 109, this building only has 15 out of 18, but it has a negative 17% modifier, and this one has a negative 21% modifier. And so to solve that, we're going to build out a few rural towns. Let's start with Vegetable Town. The first thing that we're going to need is a grid. And now we have a bunch of smaller suburban type grids. And hopefully, we'll be able to fit enough population to where we don't have to worry about workers. Let's add in a few small medical clinics. We're going to add in one small fire station right by all of our agriculture processing. And we're also going to tell it to operate in this district as well, and this one. Then let's have a small cemetery right over by these farms. We'll add on the temple, which is basically just a church, and we'll set this to operate in every single one of these districts. Now we need schools, so let's use the UK elementary school, and we're going to place that right off of our main road. There's not really going to be a great place for this, that's just how it is with the country. And we'll place the high school right beside it. And these buildings should definitely have enough capacity to take care of this entire area. And for police, we're going to need an asset that gives us a whole bunch of cars, because there's going to be a lot of distance being traveled, and the more cars we have, the better we can serve all of these remote areas. That's why we're going to use the Southwestern Police Station, but I don't want every building fronting our main road. This upgrade is going to give us 8 more patrol cars, which is exactly what we want, and we're going to set it to operate in all of these districts. Now, while we're on the topic of police, we are having a police problem down here in the industrial, and that's going to destroy the industrial building's efficiency, which is hilarious because it's 232% right now, even though there's an active crime scene. Now, if we want to entice people to move into this area, we are going to need a few parks. So let's just toss down a few large playgrounds. And then last but not least, we are going to need some mail coverage. So let's add in this northeastern post office because I just love it and I think it's going to be a great fit, to be honest. And I want to try and keep this away from all of our development, mostly just because we don't have that much room. which means the best fit right now is going to be right beside our school and apparently where all of our other services are going. Now, one thing I'm scared to see is our internet, and yeah, we have none. Wow. And even with the 2 telecom towers that we added in the last one, getting green in these dense areas is just very difficult unless we add in a server farm. And given the current state, I think we might have to. We're leaving so much efficiency on the table. But first, let's add in one of these telecom towers. And then we're gonna need one more closer to the mining town. Let's try and get this higher up though. So right here is probably gonna be the best place, just given its height. And now show me green everywhere, and I think that's pretty solid. Of course, it's a bit sad that our rural towns have better internet than our main downtown and where the majority of our population is concentrated. So with that in mind, we're gonna add a server farm. Because this is gonna give us a massive boost to our efficiency, which means all of our businesses, including our offices, are gonna do way better. Ideally, I want to try and keep this away from the population. It's just kind of sad because there is no good positioning for this. The best place is going to be right here. It'll give us the most coverage, but that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Let's get this connected into our main 4-lane road. And I was trying to make it easier for the trucks to come into these bays, but the game really doesn't want me to manipulate the nodes, so I just said screw it, I don't care. Now please, tell me our telecom is mostly green. It's just so bad. Alright, that's it. One more telecom tower, and we're placing that by the landfill. Now show me all green. For once in the city's history, we have all green where we have development. And you can see that our citizen happiness is increasing. We have a crematorium in our entertainment district, and given the current death care problem, I'm going to set it to also operate in this one. For garbage, we're going to take our recycling center and we're going to tell it to only operate in these local districts. That should stop it from traveling all the way down to this area, which should improve its efficiency, and ideally it'll fix the groundwater pumping station. The last thing that this area is going to need is more waste management capacity, because if the water treatment plant is already filling up with garbage and it's right beside the landfill, then we're definitely going to have a problem very soon. So we're going to add on the recycling center, but I want to fix a connectivity issue. Right now, in order for the landfill to send out vehicles, it has to hop on the highway, travel all the way down, compete with all the freight traffic, and this is just such an easy problem to solve, we might as well do it. We're going to have to buy this tile right here. It's going to cost $2 million and $100,000 every month. It literally means nothing. We're so rich. And now I just want to use our 2-lane rural highway. We'll upgrade this entire stretch of road, and we're going to get rid of some of these farm surfaces because I want to send it all the way down, connect this grid in, and then do one more thing. After that, we should be finally ready to zone this area out. And there we go. So now we have this new road connection. We have our beautiful recycling center, which is set to operate in all of these districts. But aside from that, the really big thing that I wanted to do was fix Lilac Springs. So I did a little bit of expansion, upgraded some of the roads to be more suburban, and that's making this area feel a whole lot better. I am going to give this area its own police station, its own fire department, one park, and a bit more mail coverage. Now with all of our services in place, there's one more thing left to do, and that's some zoning. There's lots of little small rural developments, but I do want them to feel fairly modern, and as if this area is going to expand over time, the farms will go away, and it'll slowly get more and more urban. So to accomplish that, I'm going to use Smiley's low density assets, and while I'm at it, I did forget to make the mining town, so I'll get that done too, and then once we're done, we'll finally be able to check what our efficiency is, how much money we're making, and just overall, how ridiculous it is. And with all of that done, say hello to all of the new districts, all of the zoning, all of the crazy extractors, because I forgot to only use the ones that don't have extractors. But that's okay because I remembered to do it over here. I did adjust Woodtown by moving the particle board factory and by adding in a few more extractors for raw wood. And just look at our particle board factory, 256% efficiency. I feel like that just sounds fake, it doesn't sound real. And they make $9 million every month. Mining Town has 922 residents and only 525 jobs. Wow, I honestly expected more. And although this area isn't perfect, it's definitely much better than what it was before. All I had to do was reorientate the grid, have it follow with the train tracks, and add some new modern development. There's still one more building that we need to take a look at, and that's the blast furnace. They have a 220% efficiency boost, but unfortunately, they're losing out due to not enough employees and mail handling. But profit-wise, 800k is pretty solid. Let's try and fix one of their problems. Here's a mailbox, and right across the street, let's have a post office. Now hopefully that solves the mail issue. There is a pretty big traffic issue, but this is something that we do not have the time to tackle today. And come on, fires? In our main city? Let's give this area a bit of love, and then we'll check out our final statistics. There is one fire station in this city. Let's delete it, and we'll replace it with the Southwestern Firehouse, which comes with more vehicles and has an upgrade for 4 more. So now we've added a total of 6 more vehicles, which means we better not see any more houses burned down. I do want to help with garbage though, because it is slowly starting to get on my nerves that we have garbage piling up, even though we have 2 landfills, 2 recycling centers, and a few waste collection centers. So we have these hazardous waste collection points. They allow us to process 20 more tons of garbage every month. I did add this road at the back of this building for this exact purpose, which puts our processing speed to 210 tons per month. Definitely a bit better. The last thing that we could do is add a few more waste collection centers. The entire city only produces 3,200 tons of garbage every month, and we process 7,000. So we should be able to take care of this. Finally, let's take a look at our taxation, and we're pretty much making 12 million on the dot from industrial. So we more than doubled it, and that's just crazy. So even though we added $7 million to our total expenses, we're still making way more money, producing way more goods, especially vegetables, and the industrial businesses have a crazy percentage of efficiency to the point where it sounds silly. And I would call that a really big win. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Today's shoutouts go to Jake Hill, Gary Key, Mississippi Mikey, Aiden Fernelski, Henry Vopel, Dylan Barnett, James Robinson 23, Sinan Ozdemir, Soyan x2, The Poop Sheriff, Narwhal, Tank 110106, Sebastian Gwynn 7807, and to every single person who supports this channel, I genuinely cannot say thank you enough. If you want sneak peeks, save file access, and much more, you can join us over on Patreon or on YouTube. And other than that, I'll loon with you in the next one.